So you need to be able to solve for y because not every equation is going to be in slope-intercept form, which is the best way to graph it, okay? So let's take a look at an example of an equation that is not in slope-intercept form, and then we're going to do some operations to get it into slope-intercept form. Okay, so just a little heads up, our goal is to get all of these equations into slope-intercept form that looks like this, okay? Y equals mx plus b, you know, that equation that will never go away, okay? So let's take a look here. We're gonna solve these kind of like we did for two-step equations. Actually, you could even throw in multi-step equations. We're basically just solving an equation, but we have a variable in the mix, so it's going to change things a little bit. So just like I would for a multi-step equation, I want to distribute first. So this will be negative x plus 2. And I'm leaving this side alone for right now. Okay. So I simplified that side. Now my goal is to get y all by itself. If I do, then it's pretty much going to be in this form. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides so that I isolate y, get it all by itself. Okay, so 3 minus 3, that cancels out. And you're left with y, which is our goal, equals. Now you have to, notice how I strategically subtracted 3 from the constant 2 here, because we can't combine it with the x because that is not, they're not considered like terms. Okay. So now I end up with this equation, y is equal to negative x minus 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph it now. I'm just going to create a little small graph here. Nothing special. So now that I have it in slope-intercept form, what is my y-intercept? -1. What's my slope? -1. Awesome. Okay, so my y-intercept is -1, so I'm going to put a point there. My slope is -1, so I'm going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. And I'm going to put a few more points on that side too, just so that I can create my line. And there's my graph. Is it possible to graph using the equation in this form? Sure. Is it going to be easy? No. No, it's going to take some work. So it's a lot easier just to solve for y, and then you have your y-intercept and your slope, and you can just quickly toss that line right out there. Okay? Now let's take a look at an equation that is in a little bit different form than that. We have 7x, minus 4y is equal to -28. We want to solve for y. We want this y to be all by itself. So I'm going to draw my balance line. And kind of like what we did with two-step equations, I'm going to ignore this part, and I need to move this over first. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to subtract the whole thing, 7x. 7x minus 7x, that's just 0. Notice that these are not like terms. So you're used to being able to just subtract and move on. You're not going to be able to do that here. We're just going to leave it. So you're left with -4y here. And then we have -7x minus 28. So notice that I put the x term first because our goal is to get it into slope-intercept form, which has that x term first. Okay. Now I still have one last thing with my left with my y. So I'm going to undo that multiplication by dividing both sides by -4. So -4 divided by -4 cancels out. That's just 1, so you're left with y. Now, when you divide the whole a whole expression like this by -4, we're dividing each term by -4 to distribute. So -7x divided by -4 is going to be a positive 7/4 x. And then -28 divided by -4 is a positive 7. And now we have it in the correct form. I'm going to scoot this over and move it up a little bit because we're going to now graph it, and the y-intercept is pretty far up there. So I'm going to kind of make my coordinate plane a little bit bigger than usual. I'm also going to keep my x-axis kind of low too. This is only because I know that my y-intercept is going to be 7, so that's going to be up high, and then my slope is 7/4, so that's going to be up even higher. So my y-intercept is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My slope is 7/4, so I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's like way out there, so I'm going to backtrack and put another point the other way too. Okay. So here's my line. It would have been really challenging to try to graph a point when the equation's in this form. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to have you guys practice 2 of these. I'm going to walk around and just make sure you're good before I cut you loose to work on your IXL code. Okay, guys, try those 2. And if you're not sure how to do it, just let me know and I'll come and help you. You're just solving for y. No, you don't have to graph these 2. Just solve for y. I didn't even leave myself enough space to graph them. That's the main goal, is I just want to make sure you know how to solve for y. So just get them in that form. And if you finish, see what your neighbors got too. No, you don't have to graph those 2. Just solve for y. Yeah. I did make a new seating chart, but I forgot to put it up before you guys came in today, so I'll put it up tomorrow so you can see your new seats tomorrow. Sorry, I just totally
Wait, can you put it up now so we see where we are? Yeah.
Actually, let's finish the lesson first, and then I'll put it up.
I literally have to turn.
I feel bad for doing it.
No, you got. Did you get rice for the pizza?
We're gonna go over it real quick. Yeah, I'll show you. As soon as I'm done, we're almost done. Are you guys ready to go over these? What did you get for number 1?
Y is equal to negative 2x plus 5.
Okay, y equals negative 2x plus 5. Let's check it out. I'm going to distribute first over here. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract 1. So we have y is equal to negative 2x plus 5. Yeah, good job, you guys. What did you get for the second one? Ooh, you guys seem very confident too, so let's just make sure. Okay, so we have 3y is equal to 2x plus 24. Divide both sides by 3. And we get that y is equal to 2/3 x plus 8. Awesome. Okay, you guys are working on IXL code AA.12 today. 12. I started to, so it's there for you.